Really? One of the best, or some, or one, said the best film adaptation of Stephen King's work? You not only have The Shining, the first one that comes into most people's minds, but Carrie, Salem's Lot, Cronenberg's The Dead Zone is quite good, Silver Bullet is pretty impressive for what it is, Stand By Me, Misery. That's some good stuff there, isn't it? He helped write Creepshow. You can't not enjoy Maximum Overdrive or The Running Man, can you? You can, but I can get a kick out of both of them. A lot of people really love Shawshank Redemption and Green Mile. I don't really have love for either, but I do prefer the Green Mile, and, well, I might still take Life of Chuck over at least Shawshank, for Life of Chuck has at least one magical moment or segment which did live up to the hype and maybe clouding the enthused critics' perspectives on the rest of the film, or they're just that daft and enjoy the opening and closing acts of this film. A lot of people love The Mist, especially those with a brave hate boner for Christianity, but I didn't get that much out of it personally. I would also like to mention how I would really like to see The Monkey end in the tall grass based off of his work, and The Timekeepers of Eternity, which he wrote the original screenplay of. Okay, so Life of Chuck. Oh man, where do I start? I wasn't enjoying the first, or third. I suppose you know what I mean if you've seen it. Act all too much. Was actually loving the second act quite or a fair bit. Then I hated the final act. I detest coming-of-age high school dreck. I think rich people should stop writing screenplays about the middle class, because I'm very culturally sick of both. And I hate cute, safe, nice suburban sentimentality, and I'm not even going to get into the film cutely keeping its cosmology a mystery for thematic purposes, when I would have preferred even some weird Charlie Kaufman attempt at an explanation, either. I don't care much for Mike Flanagan. This is the most I've liked one of his films on the basis of its middle act, though his other films I find to be not bad, but personally a bit mediocre and unmemorable, with an ugly, over-homogenized, indistinct digital sheen over everything which makes it look like unambitious streaming service nothing, because sometimes they just are. King as an author I don't have an unwavering reverence for I do admire him as an author. Certainly his strongest works, and even little pieces like Low Men in Yellow Coats, display a fervour and originality which most authors would greatly envy. But I'm more interested in the film adaptations on the basis of them sometimes being really outstanding classic films. Hey kids, hey teenagers, pander to others, cater to the fact that they will only like you if you have something to offer, look at me dance for you, look at me throw away my desires in life for you, please don't isolate me, please don't ignore me. The Life of Chuck is for social, blinder-harnessed, horrified of being excluded, socially pandering vessels who just want to be liked. They don't see themselves as having merit beyond being liked by others, whereas I think it better to be ever skeptical of approval in of itself. A rigid moral principle is useful for determining whether the social strata is not sick in and of itself. Actually, I consider social approval beyond the separation of some who would deliberately, malignantly harm others to be a little bit creepy and too hierarchical for me, and doesn't gel in a society which professes to celebrate equality. The existence of cliques is difficult to remove from the idea of a social world. The idea of where too good for you is abundant even on those who profess to hold progressive politics up until when it might prevent them from having their own material abundance which they can show off to the newsfeed. Life of Chuck made me really pissed off, but I do appreciate the middle act. That was movie magic. It made the film worth some of the acclaim, but I think I hate the critics who have praised this movie, would kick Mike Flanagan in the shin if I ever met him, and am more likely to burn a building down than I have been in the last couple of months, but those feelings will dissipate in a matter of minutes after finishing this piece. So much for feel-good warmth, I've rarely left a cinema feeling worse. If you've ever felt ostracized in your life and you like this film, you have Stockholm Syndrome. For those who haven't and liked this film, you have no idea what it is like to have been judged as dismissible from the wider society, and in a way I am slightly happy for all of you. If you have never been ostracized from society and still didn't like this film, then there is a hope for extroverts yet, possibly.